Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another 3 looks 1 palette video. I'm almost positive that this is gonna be back to back with my Christmas Eve palette video from Oden's Eye. And as you already know by the title, this is my 3 looks 1 palette with the Merry Christmas palette from Oden's Eye. Again, like I said in the last video, I don't talk too much about my actual thoughts on the shadows. But I do really like this palette. I more just wanted to do it for inspiration. If you happen to buy this palette or just in general, you could also always, as with any palette video, dupe the looks out with shadows you already have. I like this palette more than the Christmas Eve palette. I think just shade selection wise, and I think I just like the way these shadows perform better. I don't know what it is. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the looks because you already know the point. Okay, hello, welcome to the first look using the Oden's Eye Merry Christmas palette. I'm still a little bit sick, as I'm sure you can probably hear and see by my crusty nose. But we're gonna try to persevere and get a look done. So I'm going to do a halo eye today using like these warmer tones at the bottom here. I'm gonna start with the shade Hot Cocoa with no A, but that's fine. And I've primed my eyes using the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, and I have not set my lids. And I'm going to take that Hot Cocoa shade and stamp this in my inner and outer corners and connect it through my crease. And then I'm going to take the shade Poinsettia, this lighter red, and just blend around the edges of the Hot Cocoa shade. Ugh, the way I love red eyeshadow. Oh my god. And I'm going to take the shade Gingerbread, which is this light browny orange, orangey brown, and buff over the edges. And now I'm going to take the shade Happy Ending right here, which is a matte black. And before I go in with shimmers, I'm going to use this to deepen my very outer and inner parts of my eye. So I'm going to take the shade Bless in the outer part, the shade All Right in the front part, and the shade Little Star in the middle. First I'm going to take some NYX glitter primer and just put it all over, basically all over most of my lid, except the very inner and outer parts. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the shade Little Star in the center. Then taking Bless, which is the hot pink. Excuse me, I just had a cough attack. But yeah, I'm taking Bless in the outer part. And then taking All Right. It may look a little bit odd at first, but it'll come together, don't worry. And then I'm going to go back and forth between each shade just to help merge them together. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on my other eye. Okay, and now hopefully I'll remain not coughing. I'm going to take a little bit more of hot cocoa. Make sure things are deep enough where I want them to be. And take a little bit of poinsettia. Just gonna blend over the edges. And then take a touch of gingerbread and buff over these edges as well. And then I'm going to take Little Star on my finger and All Right and Bless, so the 3 shades I used, and intensify them on my lid with my finger. And for these 2 outer shades, I'm also going to tap any excess over the very outer part of my lid as well. So you can see the difference here, All Right, the orange is much more opaque and more of a more traditional metallic, whereas Bless and Little Star are a little bit sheerer. Still really beautiful though. For my lower lash line, I'm gonna keep everything pretty simple. I'm gonna take hot cocoa. Actually, let me do blush and highlight first, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just did blush and highlight, if you're wondering. Oh my god, this cold is killing me. I used the Blunt Bunny Noctilucent highlighting palette and the shade Dreamlike. And I used the Melt Digital Dust highlight in the shade Pheonix as a blush. And now, for my lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade Hot Cocoa and just stamp this all underneath my eyes. And then I'm taking the shade Poinsettia and blending this out. And then taking the shade Gingerbread and blending it out. And then I'm going to take Happy Ending and put this in the outer and inner parts of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take each of these shimmers and just place them on my lower lash line where they are in my top lid. So first taking Bless, and I'm going to spray those so they stick. Then taking All Right, which some of these I don't really understand the names, but anyway. And Little Star. Okay, and so that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and be back to show you the finished look. Okay, and this is the finished look. I really, really love it. I know not everyone, particularly on Instagram, are fans of my halo eyes, but I've been weirdly really into them recently. Anyway, I haven't done a red eyeshadow look in a while, so I'm really feeling it. Good thing I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna go lay on my couch because I am feeling bad. But anyway, on my lips I have the NYX lip liner in Nude Truffle and the ColourPop Luxe Gloss in the shade Eternal Flame. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. So let's get to the second look. Okay, hello. Welcome to the second look using the Merry Christmas palette from Oden's Eye. I want to play with some of these greens today in the top half of the palette. I'm going to do kind of like a more graphic shape, focusing on a lot of the shimmers. So I'm going to start with the shade Christmas Tree, which is this deeper, the deepest green in the palette. And I'm gonna just do a little graphic kind of like wing shape. I've done this a number of times, basically just like drawing a winged out shape and not like filling it in or anything on my eye. Okay, so that's as good as I'm gonna get it. Now I'm just gonna take that same shade and just basically fill in, maybe I'll take a pencil brush, but fill in just the very kind of like outer part of the wing. Okay, so for my lid, I'm going to take the shades New Year, and then Jingle Bell, and then Santa Star. In that order. But first, honestly, I'm running so low on this. I really hope I can get more of this NYX glitter primer soon. But I'm going to take some NYX glitter primer and put that on the just like blank part of my eye, and then going with the shimmers. Okay, so starting with New Year, putting this on the, I guess, outer third of the blank space, basically. Okay, then taking Jingle Bell. And then taking Santa Star. Which actually is a little, it's pretty close to Jingle Bell when you put them to like right beside each other. I think Santa Star has more of like a red kind of like base to it, and Jingle Bell is like a little bit more green, but like right now they look similar, pretty similar. And I'm just gonna quickly do the same thing on my other eye. Okay, so I've done my other eye, and now I'm just gonna basically go back and forth between each of the shimmers and just blend them together a little bit more, just so they blend together. But yeah, you can definitely see that Jingle Bell and Santa Star are very similar shades. And then finally I'm just, well, not finally, but now I'm gonna just take a little bit of Christmas Tree and just merge this into the shimmer. Beauty. Okay, so now I'm going to take New Year, Jingle Bell, and Santa Star on my fingers and just intensify carefully these shades on my lid. And in times like this, I just imagine what it would be like to have smooth, non-wrinkly eyelids. Can't even imagine it. Anyway, now I'm going to take the shade Christmas Tree and just connect this to my lower lash line. Actually, I'm going to quickly do highlight and blush, and then I will come back and do my lower lash line. Okay, so I did my blush and highlight. I used the, oh my god, Blend Bunny Noctilucent highlighting palette and the shade Enlighten, and then the, no one's seen this, that I have this before, but the, oh, what did I just do? Oh my god. I tried to get the fingerprints off and then I made it even more fucked up. Anyway, the Patrick Ta blush in the shade She's So LA, which if you've been watching me, you know that I've been coveting or lusting after this blush forever. Anyway, so it's the first time I'm using it. Anyway, that's what I use for blush. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Christmas Tree and I'm just going to connect this to my lower lash line, but just keeping it in the outer, just like basically this far in to my lower lash line, then connecting it to this wing so that it's like a smooth line. Okay, and then I'm going to take each of the shimmers and spray them just so they stick and just put them on my lower lash line, starting with the shade New Year and then taking Jingle Bell and Santa Star. Okay, now that I'm looking bright-eyed, I would say, I'm gonna finish by taking the shade Snowman, which I hope is gonna work, and I'm gonna put that in my inner corners. And I will say Santa Star, the shade that I put like in the inner parts of my eyes, definitely like with these flakier shades, because it's quite flaky in texture, you have to be a little bit careful, because even like I put it on way too thick. Not that I mean like even I did it, but I put it on way too thick and it was like crumbling off a little bit. So I don't know, those more textured shades can be a little bit tricky. Can be easy to like really layer them too much. Okay, I think that's really pretty. And then I'm gonna take that also on my brow bone. Just right here. Oh, that actually shears out quite nicely. Okay, so I'm going to put some liner on, just on like my lash line. I'm not gonna wing it out or anything, and I will, and lashes and lips, and then I'll show you the finished look. Okay, and this is the finished look. It always comes together with lashes. Sometimes I feel like I look a little bit crazy with like before lashes, but anyway, I always think this shape is super fun. I feel like this is very like Christmas. I don't know. I get very Christmas from this look. I don't know. Green and gold or Green Bay Packers. That's also what I think about every time I do a green and gold look. That is a fact that I know against my will. My girlfriend apparently has decided that she loves football. I try to retain as little information about sports as possible. Anyway, not relevant. As you can tell, I'm in a hard gloss phase right now. So on my lips, I'm wearing the NYX lip liner in Nude Truffle with a little bit of Makeup Forever Endless Cacao in the center, and the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Heat in the shade Fenty Glow Heat. And I'm reminded of how much I love the Fenty Heat lip balms, gloss bombs. They're so good. Well, I mean, I only have this shade, but it is so good. So glossy. Like, seriously, Fenty, best lip balms. Glosses. Best lip glosses. Anyway, let's get into the third and final look, which I'm very excited about. I have a vision in my mind. I hope it goes the way that I want it to. Anyway, beep, beep, beep. Okay, hello, and welcome to the third look using the Merry Christmas palette from Oden's Eye. I'm gonna do a little Christmassy cut crease, if you will. So, I'm gonna start with the shade Gingerbread. This nice little brownie orange. And I'm just going to put this through just the outer half of my crease. And I'm going to take the shade Best Wish, which is such a fun, bright green. It's so like pastel and bright. And I'm going to put this in the front part. Now, inevitably, I think the outer and inner part of my crease is gonna get muddy because it's gonna be like warm tones and greens right beside each other. So I'm gonna try my very best to not blend them a ton so they don't get like super gray, but I mean, it's gonna happen just color theory wise. So I think I blended this orange a little bit too far, but oh well. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Poinsettia, which is the red, the matte. Now I'm gonna put this in my outer corner and then halfway through my crease, stopping where I stopped the gingerbread shade. And then taking the shade Matcha Cookies, and I feel like it's not going to show up as like the way that I want it to, but I'm going to try. So just putting this again in the front part of my crease. And trying not to blend too much into the shade Poinsettia. So you can see, like, this is why red and green don't mix. They're just getting so muddy. But I think it'll be fine once I get like the deeper shades on. Speaking of, now I'm going to take the shade Hot Cocoa in the outer part of my crease, my outer corner, and then again where I kept the shade Gingerbread and Poinsettia. And then I'm going to take the shade Christmas Tree and deepen the front part of my crease. Okie dokie. So now I'm going, I hated that. I just said that, by the way. I'm going to take the brush that I used, Poinsettia, and then subsequently Matcha Cookies, just gently blend the edges of the darker shades. Okay, so now I'm going to cut my crease quickly just with concealer, and I will be right back. Okay, so basically I got a call and I did this half of this eye off camera, but we'll just do the other half together. So what I did was, obviously I cut my crease. Let me just tap out this creased concealer here. I'm gonna take some of the shade Poinsettia and just tap that on the edge of the concealer. And then I'm going to take just a touch. This brush is kind of big for this, but I'm just going to brush this over the top. Take a little bit of the shade Matcha Cookies and blend this over the top as well. And then I'm going to take, and then basically I just go back and deepen. So I'm going to go back and deepen my outer corner with the shade Hot Cocoa, which honestly might be one of my favorite shades in this palette, to be honest. I really, really love it. It shows up a lot deeper on my lids than I thought it was going to, which I always appreciate. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Christmas Tree and deepen this as well. And then now I'm going to take some NYX glitter primer and put this over the area where I cut my crease. This is the wrong brush. And this, like, I've been saying it for the past, I swear to God, 6 looks I've done. This might be the last of the glitter primer. Anyway, just put this all over the area where I cut my crease. And then on my lid, I'm going to take the shade Elf Wish, which honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better shade to pair with this look. And just put Elf Wish all over the glitter primer. I do feel like this shade does, because obviously I have layered like my concealer and then glitter primer on top, it is creasing a little bit, or like kind of patching up weirdly on my other eye. So I'll see if I maybe go in with my finger. That helps it, but oh my God. I swear my eyes, I could look at them 28 times and be like, yes, they're even. And they never are as even as I want them to be with cut creases. It's so annoying. It's like they change shape as I'm doing my makeup. But yeah, it also does make sense that it's not layering super well over like kind of a creamier base, because it is quite like a creamy shadow. Almost feels like a cream shadow. So I would use with caution, because it is like almost breaking up. I don't think that's the fault of the shadow, it's just kind of the way it goes. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Poinsettia and just blend this into the shade Elf Wish on my lid. And then I'm going to go back in with a smaller brush, take Best Wish, that green, blend over the very edges of the front part of my crease, take a little bit of gingerbread, blend over the edges of Poinsettia. Then I'm going to take a really, really tiny detail brush, take Hot Cocoa, and really define the edge of my cut crease. And just brush this brush off, honestly, so there's no more color on it. And take Christmas Tree and do the same thing. It's a little step, but I really hope that I find that this helps a lot with cut creases. Okay, And then finally, I'm going to take Elf Wish. Oh yeah, that legitimately feels like a cream shadow. Elf Wish on my finger and intensify it on my lid. Okay, I'm quickly going to hop off camera, do my highlighter and blush, and be right back. Okay, so I did my blush and highlight. If you're wondering what highlight I used, the Blend Bunny Noctilucent highlighting palette, I used the shade Transient, which is this green. I felt like trying to be on theme, and then I used the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's So LA, which I used in my last look because it's amazing. Okay, so now to do my lower lash line, I'm gonna keep it simple-ish, as simple as this look is gonna be. I'm gonna take poinsettia and put that on the outer part of my eye, and then take matcha cookies and put that in the front part, and then blend both of these shades out. And then I'm going to take hot cocoa, deepen the outer part of my lash line with this, and then taking Christmas tree and deepening the front part of my lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to take gingerbread, blend out the edges of my lower lash line, and then take Best Wish. Then I'm going to take the shade Snowman, this duochrome. I'm going to give this a little spray and put this on my inner corners and also on my brow bone. And then lastly, I'm going to take the shade Happy Ending, the matte black, and put this in my outer corners. This is where I'm going to leave it. So I will hop off camera, finish up my look, and finish the video. Okay, and this is the finished look. Very Christmas, but hey, I am doing a video with the Merry Christmas palette, so if I can do one Christmas look, it will be with this one. But on my lips, I have the NYX lip liner in Nude Truffle with Makeup Forever Endless Cacao and the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Magic. Thoughts on this palette? I really, really like this palette. I like this more, I think, than the Christmas Eve palette. I think I just like, number one, the shade selection better, but I also think I like the way the shadows perform better. Particularly the mattes. I don't know what it is about the shadows in the Christmas Eve palette. They were nice, but I just feel like I like these ones better. I don't really know. Regardless, doesn't fucking matter. Can't buy it anyway. Like I said in my last video, I hope that this was helpful in some capacity. If for inspiration in general, inspiration if you happen to buy these palettes. I'm just happy to play with these palettes, and honestly, in my experience, I just like watching people do eyeshadow, but that's just me. Anyway, I won't keep you much longer because again, there is no point. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you made it to the end at this point, and I would love to see you in my next one. Bye!